Let's talk Rams offense versus Bengals defense. This is an interesting matchup from my perspective. Do you see an edge going one way or the other? How do you see that matchup breaking down?
Here's the thing. I see all these Twitter polls and everything, and maybe it's just because I really like this Bengals team. I don't know what it is, but I'll see like polls of which team has a better offense. And a lot of the times the Rams, it's like a 70-30 vote. And I'm just like, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. But
I wouldn't say I agree with that.
Yeah,
they have a better offensive line, but you look at those weapons for the Bengals.
Woo. Yeah, I mean it's. I know Cooper Kupp, Odell, Van Jefferson, but it's just I don't know. It's weird. It's different to me. Just the Bengals, they're more explosive in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah, and just, but I don't really love the Bengals pass defense though against this LA team. That's a little concerning. I do think one bet I do like, and I liked it in the NFC Championship game. I like Odell over. It's 62.5 right now. Vegas is kind of catching on. They're moving it up to 62. But he's just last game he had over 100. I think he had like 69 the game before that. They just seem to continuously be getting him involved. So I'll take him over on the 62.5. But I just wonder how I think that LA's going to come out and pass the ball at least 45 times. Do you think they're going to run that much?
See, I kind of think they are. So I think that that prop bet isn't terrible because Higbee, I think, is from all I've read and heard is trending to probably be out. And we've seen a come down in Van Jefferson's target and productions with the addition to Odell. So I don't hate that because Cooper Kupp, I've got to imagine the Bengals have done a good enough job of identifying who is going to be a problem on offense to deal with and trying to at least help that situation. They've done a good job adjusting. And you saw it in the Chiefs game. They made a perfect adjustment. They rushed 3 defenders, dropped 8, and they were like, we're going to swarm everywhere, and you're not going to get big explosives. And the Chiefs didn't have a big explosive all second half.
Yeah.
So I do wonder, I feel like the Rams are going to try to run the ball because if the Bengals continue with that strategy, which I think they will, because Matthew Stafford, I mean, anybody with a brain has seen what he's done against the fucking blitz, and you saw what he did against the Bucs when they went man up blitz, tore them. So I would imagine the Bengals are probably going to keep a similar strategy: rush 3, drop 8, which is going to allow Cam Akers to run the ball, but he's had some fumble issues. The run game has been somewhat inconsistent. Odell's going to have some
on the Rams. No one running on the Rams scares me.
No. Now, if they had a Joe Mixon, maybe I'd be a little scared.
Joe Mixon scares me. No one running for the Rams really scares me.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I do think they'll be a little run heavy to start and then start to open it up. But that's the other thing. I think this is the part, not to tip my hand, is Matthew Stafford. I don't know if you've gotten this vibe, but it feels like this every game. Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay seem to want to just give away games at like the end of the game. There have been some baffling play calls and throws at the end of the game. We saw it in the 49ers game. We saw it in the Bucs game. Like, they feel like they just want to give games away. Am I crazy for thinking this?
It's crazy how just out of nowhere they'll get so aggressive and you're like, whoa, like, what are you doing? Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. It's so weird.
It's outrageous. And so I think there are going to be opportunities, but like you said, it's funny too, because you look at the Bengals have the 3rd most expensive secondary, 3rd most expensive defensive line. The secondary played up to that last week. 2 weeks ago, I'm still baffled in how they were able to keep coverage downfield on those long Mahomes scrambles and let nobody get open. And they have a ton of cap space. You know, they upgrade a couple linemen and maybe another linebacker. Woof. But there are some vulnerabilities. I don't hate Odell prop there. I think the Cooper Kupp one is going to skyrocket here if Higbee gets announced out, and I might bet the under on that because I do think the Bengals they understand Cooper Kupp's ability and are going to try to alleviate that. They play 2 safety. Hell, they played 3 safeties at one point in the Chiefs game, and Jesse Bateman is a heck of a safety back there. It covers up a lot of issues. So I do kind of think Odell's going to get some targets here in this game. Yeah. I think the Rams have the edge, but the Bengals got some fight in them on defense. So I don't know what to do with that side of the ball almost.
It's hard, man. I feel like we have a much better feeling for the other side of the ball that we talked
Yes.
about. And like, I just feel like I had so much more to say on the Rams defense versus the Bengals offense, but just I don't know exactly. It's harder to predict what's going to happen on this side here. I mean, the thing that concerns me obviously is if the Rams get short fields, they're gonna score.
Yeah.
That's where I get concerned if Burrow strip fumbles or anything like that, sack fumbles or anything. One, going back to the other side of the ball real quick, I want to give one player a little shout out on Cincinnati, and I kind of want to, since you live in that area, I feel like he's got to be incredibly loved. Tyler Boyd, that man has had two 1,000-yard seasons. Sorry, I can't even talk. Brain dead. And he's just he doesn't seem to complain that he's now the third option in the passing game. Like, it doesn't seem to matter to him. Like, does everyone in Cincy just love him?
Yeah, because it was funny when AJ Green was aging, Tyler Boyd was like, oh, don't worry, we got a guy that we can just ease right back in. And now he's eased off. And to your point, you don't really he just plays within the system. They don't care. They're very selfish players. Mm-hmm. And that has endeared them to this entire city. The wide receiving core in this city is beloved. Yeah, it is incredible. Like, you won't hear a bad word spoken ever about anybody on this wide receiving core. There are some bad words about some other players in the team where there's a little less faith. Yeah. Drew Sample will be an example. Not a lot of happy feelings about him potentially having to step up, given the injury to Uzama there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Tyler Boyd is loved. That's a great call out, because it is funny. It's a point that I haven't really brought up, but that was literally the talk around the town when AJ Green was starting to age. It was like, oh, we're just going to filter in Tyler Boyd. He's this great wide receiver.
He's good.
He's great, really great good depth. Yeah. Completely under talked about.
So you feel probably pretty good though about the under 39.5. That seems kind of high, especially, he's got like 19 and 16 in those last two.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's and he's got 26 in the game before that. I mean, I know he's capable of putting up over 100 yards, but just like, there's just so many options on this offense. I feel like 39.5 is kind of high.
He hasn't had a game above 36 yards since the Ravens game where he went the fuck off.
Yeah.
But I mean, he gets targets, but it's more underneath stuff. And that's the other thing. I think that's the part that even works even better in your benefit is Joe Burrow. I was looking it up the other day. I apologize if I get this something went wrong, but I believe he's had the quickest release time of any quarterback in the playoff, which means you're not being able to hold on the ball for big chunk yard plays. It's a lot of underneath stuff, a lot of shorter yard stuff, the explosive here and there, obviously, because Jamar Chase and Higgins making plays out of nowhere. But yeah, I agree. I kind of like the under there. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, I'll probably go with that.
The one thing I did want to say as we switch back and forth here, the one thing about the Bengals defense I do want to give them credit for is their adaptability. Because think about it week to week. What did we say going into the Titans game? This rush defense stinks. Yep. And it has all season. It stinks. Lou Amarillo and that defense said, all right, beat us through the pass. We're going to load the box. You aren't going to get anywhere on us. And they did that. Then they go play the Chiefs. This is a passing offense. No way you're going to be able to stop them. They get absolutely torched in the first half. Looks like the Chiefs are just going to walk away with this thing. Absolute bloodbath. Come out in the second half. Crickets from that Chiefs offense. This defense's ability, whatever the Rams are doing well in the first half, I would implore people to maybe look at that second half market and just kind of short the Rams there a little bit. If they're running the ball really well, short the run game. If they're passing the ball really well, short that in the second half, because Lou Amarillo, I'm butchering his name, I apologize, in this Bengals defense are chameleons. They have been able to show that they can change their stripes mid-game and do it flawlessly throughout the entire playoffs right now. So I think that's a credit that they deserve at this point in time, because they've been getting beat up left and right by us, by everybody in the media, about how they aren't living up to their paychecks, essentially.
A little tidbit
there. Overall, how do we feel? We've broken down both sides of the game. How are we feeling about this? We've said, I think, some good information. Where do we see this outcome headed?
So I'm hoping, and also leaning towards this being a close game. I think Cincy can cover. I'm concerned about whether they can win. I want them to win. I really do. I think they can probably, keep this within a field goal. So I am going to take them as long, and I don't see this line jumping too much. I see myself pretty safe with the field goal. So I'll take them +4. I'll take them +3.5. I mean, I'd take them. I don't think it'll go +3, but I would consider it then too. But I'm not picking them to win, which crushes me.
I know.
I don't think they're gonna win.
Yeah, I think in order for them to win, a lot has to go right. You got to turn over Matthew Stafford. You can't be super predictable on offense. Those two things alone, to get both of those going, feels like an out because I don't feel like that's going to happen. But if they can win this damn football game. Dude, I want them to win so bad. Being in Cincinnati, I've adopted this team.
Are you guys off on Monday?
Schools have already shut down. The governor declared like a state of Bengalism or some nonsense where like everybody in the state is implored to wear black and orange on Sunday. Like the city is. Dude, people were lighting fireworks off in the middle of the street when they won the AFC Championship game. It was a madhouse downtown. 30,000 people showed up to a pep rally. I looked at the Rams pep rally. We had better pep rallies at our high school.
Way better.
Like it was embarrassing.
It was horrible.
Bengals are packing 30,000. I'm walking out of work. The stadium opened at like 4:30 for like a 7 p.m. kickoff. Packed downtown. I saw Joe Burrow driving. People were losing their ever-loving minds. This city is awesome right now, energy-wise, and I want them to win because this place will explode. There hasn't been much to celebrate in the form of sports here for a while for a diehard sports town who only has 2 major professional teams. They just got soccer, but they're terrible right now. That's very recently new. They only have 2 teams. Like this city loves the Bengals, and I do want them to succeed, and it would be a madhouse.
It'd be awesome. I'd love to see it. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I don't think it's going to happen. But
I do too. I am hoping.
And I can't wait to see the random people that placed, preseason Bengal wagers. I can't wait to see the payouts.
How depressing it is to be a Jags fan to see everywhere on social media that the Bengals and Jags had the exact same odds preseason to win the Super Bowl, and the Bengals are in the Super Bowl right now. They were both like plus 1,500 or whatever.
I mean, I wonder how many, there's probably just so many people that did make these crazy wagers that are just hedging the shit out of getting heavy Rams. You just got to.
Yeah, make no illusions about when I said this could be a bloodbath, there is no way the Bengals are blowing out the Rams. This could easily turn into a Rams blowout if they're not careful. But like I said, I'm with you. I think this is a field goal game, and that gives them a chance. They're a never lose team. I'm also going Bengals +4. I have to do that. I'm not putting out bad juju into this city and taking the Rams.
You got
to. Also, NFL,